What's up, everyone? It is Jason Jani. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about DJ furniture and affordable DJ booth solutions that you can make yourself at home, or you can find someone to make it for you. And I'm going to walk you through the layout of the DJ booth I just featured on the channel, and I got a comment. It was like the first comment on the video. I read all the comments, and this comment was like, it would have been nice to see what this booth looks like and to get a tour of it. So I set it up here in my warehouse, and I want to show you how I designed the booth, why I did it that way, and I want to just kind of walk you through it. Before I go there, I just want to talk about DJ booths. Now, I am not a big fan of using a DJ booth that you have to basically build on site, but there are some locations and scenarios where this is the only way possible. First and foremost, if you have a very difficult load in, or maybe you're on a second or third level and there's only access via stairs to the room or the location you need to DJ. Another thing that might be difficult is if there's an issue with maybe the size of the elevator. Certain DJ booths, like you might see over here in my warehouse, have large kind of cases that they travel in, and they just don't fit in regular size elevators. You need to use like a freight elevator, and that's not always available to us or that we have access to on site at a venue. So a booth like this is something that may interest you if you are looking for an affordable or cost efficient way of using a DJ booth setup at your events that is easy to transport. This might be a perfect solution for you. Now, there's tons of booths on the market, and over the past couple of years, they become more and more popular thanks to some of the larger brands now investing into this type of look for DJs. And for us here at SCE, we've used DJ booth furniture and DJ booth kind of setups for over 12 years. I don't want to say we're the pioneers of it, but we've been doing this stuff for a long time. And over my time basically using DJ booths, I've even designed and created my own DJ booths that I've used on site at my events. And I'm not super handy, so I can't do the woodworking myself, but I've essentially hired a carpenter, a woodworker, to essentially construct a booth for me that I use on site at my events. And that is why I'm recording this video, because I want to show you how we kind of laid this booth out. I want to show you what it looks like from the back and why I've kind of set it up this way. And although I'm not someone that likes to use DJ booths that, you don't travel with the equipment installed because it might take you a little bit longer to set up, sometimes it's the only option. So if you're a DJ watching this and you're like, oh, I can't figure out how to get it to a space, I can't afford investing in it because they just don't offer them in my area, or I just don't know even where to get started, this kind of booth design might be something that you could take on yourself, or you can source someone locally like a carpenter or woodworker to create a booth like this for you, for your setups, for your business, and it can help you create a better first impression on site at your events. And that's like a big reason of why we even use these furniture booths in the first place. The impressions are everything, and when people see a facade looking setup, it's one thing. But when they see like a cool piece of furniture, they're like, wow, that looks a little bit different. It almost sets people up from almost like a mind perspective or a psychology perspective that the event's going to be a little different. And then you come in and you rock the show, and boom, you are like setting yourself up for awesome. Anyway, furniture is a big part of who we are here at SCE, and it's been part of our kind of foundation and our look for a long time. So let me show you this booth. So I'm going to kind of direct you over this way, RJ. I don't know if you can see it, but this right here is the booth that we featured the other day, and it's really cool. Now, to kind of just show you the setup of this booth, and I'm going to move it around a little bit, it's actually two different parts. It's the bottom, which much looks like a facade. That's one solid piece, and the top piece. The top piece actually can be removed, and it's made out of wood, and it's been cut and painted. It's a little dirty now because it's been sitting in my warehouse. I don't use this one all the time. And on the bottom of this, we have an access hole, and we also have these two tracks that allow the booth to kind of get situated in it, set it up to keep it nice and secure. Now, it takes a little bit to mess around with it and get it set up, but I think you understand. once it's secure, the booth is not really going anywhere, especially when you put your controller, your decks, or whatever together that you're gonna use. And I like this booth because I feel like it's pretty sturdy. I feel like it has a cool look, and I feel like it gives me plenty of workspace to work on. Now, RJ, if you come around this way and I show you the back end of the booth, I just wanna kind of show you how I set the deck up. And you can see that this hole right here was not cut by a carpenter, it was cut by me personally, and that's why it looks the way it does, and that's why I don't get involved with building booths, because my booths would be lopsided and they wouldn't look this pretty. But essentially the deck is like this. I left a little area over here, place for like my phone or my car keys or maybe my microphones or my iPad during an event. Typically I use this booth with a controller, but I set it up in a way where, like, if I was to use my S11 and turntables, there's plenty of room. If I use an S11 and CDJs, there's plenty of room. If I use a Rev 7, there's plenty of room. If I use an SRT 1000, there's plenty of room. I have an access panel that goes down here. The reason why it's this height is because this is a height that I feel the most comfortable DJing. This might be a little high for you, so if you're building a booth like this, you might want to shrink it down. Another reason why I made it this height specifically is because if I'm using this setup with a 16 space rack, it actually fits underneath this no problem. So I don't have to worry about not having microphones, not having the right support equipment in place for my events. Now, the old Jason Jani, I used to always roll out with a 16 space rack. Now, if I need a separate rack to have like my touch mix or microphones, I just use a 6 space rack. And this rack could be used this way, or it can sit vertical, and it basically sits underneath the setup, giving me some space to put maybe my case, my speaker covers, or maybe another case, or maybe other miscellaneous stuff that we might have on site at the event. So this is a compact kind of solution for DJ furniture for DJs. Now, it only cost me a couple $100 to actually build this booth. And the booth, again, it's got 2 sections. It can be transported super easy. I actually got a cover made for this that it goes with. For the bottom, we used a thick sheet of plywood that's 1 inch thick plywood. The bottom is secured with piano hinges, and it actually just folds up into one another just like this, wide enough to hide the racks that we use, but also fold up into each other. This can be transported in a road case, or it could go in its own bag. The thing about this booth specifically is it's a little heavy, but it can be placed in the back of an SUV. I transported this to the event we did the other day in our Transit Connect, which is the smallest van we have here in SCE. And this bottom piece, although it's been outfitted with this rustic wood slat material that I actually got at Lowe's, you can customize it to either be just painted or to have other types of finishes on it, just to give you a different and unique look that fits the venues and the vibes of the events that you're doing. So I use this primarily in some of the barn style locations or some of the smaller locations in New Jersey, and I went with the rustic look that kind of fits the vibe of a lot of those venues, and I feel like it's a really cool solution. Now, if I didn't want to use this bottom, I actually made another one of these that is painted all white, and then I have just a complete white booth. If I needed to paint the white bottom black or paint the whole thing black, I could do that as well. I think the point of this is thinking outside the box and not always relying on the manufacturers that exist today when improving your setups. Sometimes if things aren't not available, a lot of DJs will just stop right there and say, I can't do it, I can't figure it out, it doesn't make sense. I know that I saw a comment from someone that views the channel from Australia saying that they can't get this stuff there for even a reasonable price. Well, you can build this for a reasonable price, and you can think outside the box and come up with a creative solution for your personal performance events that makes you a little unique. Now, is this the perfect piece of furniture or DJ booth for everyone? Absolutely not. I use it maybe 1 or 2 out of every 100 events that I do. I prefer booths that have everything internal, everything set up. It improves my efficiency setting up and breaking down. We are like lightning bolt fast, not just on the setups, but on the breakdowns when we're done with an event. And I feel like that to me is worth so much, and I think it helps my business in a lot of different ways. Not only do we look cool, we actually function incredibly fast, and we are super efficient, and people appreciate that, especially when they want to go home at night. And you know, we've got truss to break down and a DJ booth to break down. I mean, we're out of these venues 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. It's crazy. But this thing is a way that anyone watching this, can build their own booth in an affordable manner to kind of give them a different look than what most people are going to be willing to do for their events. And I hope this video helps you in your quest to level up your performances, level up your appearances, and just level up your events as a whole. My name is Jason Jani. If you have questions about this booth, the setups, anything at all, throw it in the comments underneath this video. I'll do my best to kind of respond to anyone and everyone I can. And I appreciate you checking this out. Be on the lookout for more content coming to this channel in days, weeks, and months ahead. And there's a ton of information in the description of this video. Go there, check it out, and hope to see you real soon. Thanks for watching.